Namaste dear students, welcome back to lecture 6 D and F block elements. Dear students, in the lecture 5 we come across ionization enthalpies of D block elements followed by oxidation states. But in oxidation state just I mentioned few points. So now in today's class let me continue oxidation states followed by higher oxidation state, that is stability of higher oxidation states of D block elements. So now let me continue oxidation states of D block elements or transition elements. In the last class only I have mentioned D block elements exhibits variable oxidation state. They exhibits variable oxidation state when compared with other block elements, when compared with S block or P block. These elements exhibits variable oxidation state. What is the reason? Because the electrons are involved in the bonding from both the shell, that is from the main shell and penultimate shell. From the main shell and penultimate shell. Both electrons are involved in the bonding from both the shells. Why sir? Because due to the less energy gap. Because due to the small energy gap between the ultimate shell and penultimate shell, that's what the electrons are involved in bonding from both the shells. That's what D block elements or transition elements exhibits variable oxidation state when compared with other blocks. Okay. And the next point, let us look at how the oxidation state is exhibited by these D block elements. Now let me consider example 3D series element. So I am considering the example 3D series elements. 3D series elements I am considering here. So with respect to 3D series elements, look at what are the elements here. Look at scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. Okay dear students, look at now. Scandium belongs to which group? Sir, third group. Titanium fourth group. Vanadium fifth group. Sixth, seventh group. Eighth group. Ninth group. 10th group. 11th and 12th group. So now please do remember the outer shell configuration of these elements. Only I am writing the outer shell configuration. Outer shell electronic configuration. Scandium, of course, that is 3D1 4s2. See, actually I am not writing according to alpha principle. I am writing according to the shell number, increasing order of shell number. First that is a third shell, then fourth shell. Okay, outer shell is 4, penultimate shell is 3. So for our convenience purpose I am writing like this. So titanium 4s2, it becomes a 3d2. Vanadium 4s2, 3d3. Chromium 4s1, 3d5. Manganese 4s2, 3d5. Iron 4s2, 3d6. Cobalt 4s2, 3d7. Nickel 4s2, 3d8. Copper 4s1, 3d10. Zinc 4s2, 3d10. Instead of writing 4s2, 3d10, I am writing 3d10, 4s2. Okay, look at now. In case of D block elements, just now I mentioned the electrons are involved in the bonding from both S and D orbital, from the main shell and penultimate shell. From the main shell and penultimate shell. Correct? So that is what with respect to D block elements. What is the minimum oxidation state of D block elements means? If someone asks you what is the minimum oxidation state? The minimum oxidation state the minimum oxidation states of d block elements or transition elements is equal to the number of electrons present in s orbital. S orbital of which shell? S orbital of main shell, ns orbital. Okay, see why I am saying is the number of electrons present in the ns orbital, they are involved in the bonding. Okay, hence that will be the minimum oxidation state of d block elements. For example, look at here, scandium. The minimum oxidation state of scandium is 4s2 is there, means these two electrons are involved in bonding. So that time what is the minimum oxidation state? Scandium becomes +2. Similarly, titanium 4s is 2, it is also +2. For vanadium +2, for chromium +1, for manganese +2, for iron +2, for cobalt +2, for nickel +2, for copper +1, for zinc +2. The minimum oxidation state of these elements, okay, that is number of electrons involved in the bonding from s orbital, or simply you can say number of electrons present in ns orbital. Okay, then what about the maximum oxidation state? Maximum oxidation states of d block elements is equal to the number of electrons present in ns orbital plus the number of electrons in n-1d orbital. n-1d means penultimate shell. Otherwise, let me take example. With respect to 3d series element, ns becomes what? 4s. n-1d means 3d. So see, this formula is applicable only up to manganese. What is that? The maximum oxidation state of d block elements is number of electrons present in the s orbital and number of electrons plus number of electrons present in n-1d orbital, means penultimate orbital. That is with respect to 3d series 4s and 3d orbital. Look at now, scandium maximum oxidation state is number of electrons involved in the s orbital, present in s orbital. How many electrons are there? 2 are there. Plus number of electrons from n-1d means 3d. 3d contains how many electrons? 1 electron. 2 plus 1 plus 3. Similarly, titanium. Let me show like this. This is the d orbital. This is the s orbital. Okay, think this is 4s. This is 3d. Okay. Now in case of titanium, s electrons 2 are there. 3d electrons 2 are there. Anyhow, 4 is the main shell, that is ultimate shell. From that, electrons are anyhow involved in the bonding, whether it is paired or unpaired, it is involved in bonding. But in case of 3d orbital of titanium, 2 unpaired electrons are there. They are also involved in bonding. So 2 plus 2, it becomes 4. Otherwise, 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 2, 4. So it can form plus 3 as well also plus 4. 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 2, 4. Hope you are getting. Okay. The number of electrons involved in the bonding from titanium. 2 electrons from s orbital, 1 electron from d orbital means plus 3. 2 plus 2 means plus 4. Okay. Next, similarly vanadium. Vanadium contains 3d3. So that time 2 plus 3, 5. The maximum oxidation state for vanadium is plus 5. Minimum oxidation state is, look at the formula, number of electrons present in ns orbital. That is only 2 from case of vanadium. So plus 2, maximum is plus 5. Okay. Otherwise, 2 plus 1, 3. 2 plus 2, 4. 2 plus 3, 5. So like that, plus 3, plus 4 and plus 5. May I remove this one? Plus 5. Similarly, chromium 3d5 4s1 is there. Minimum oxidation state plus 1. Maximum 5 plus 1 6 means chromium can form maximum oxidation state is plus 6. So it can form 1 plus 1 2, 1 plus 2 3 like that, plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 and plus 6. With respect to manganese, 4s2 3d5, 4s2 3d5. So that time minimum is plus 2, minimum is plus 2, maximum 2 plus 5 7. Look at here, even group number is also coinciding. Okay, 2 plus 5 7, group number is also same. So maximum oxidation is plus 7. So plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. But from iron onwards, if I take, sir, 6 plus 2 8, is it iron forms plus 8? No. Look at, why sir? Again slightly the formula changes. Look at here, minimum oxidation state is same, but for maximum oxidation state, is equal to number of electrons present in ns orbital plus slight change you do the number of unpaired electrons. Number of unpaired electrons, number of unpaired electrons in n-1d orbital. Please make a change here. Up to scandium to manganese, any of d orbital contain unpaired electron. Okay, but from iron onwards, electrons are started pairing. 3d6 means 5 plus 1 6. Electron gets pairing. So these paired electrons are not involved in bonding. These paired electrons are not involved in bonding. That is what iron 2 plus 4, it forms only 6. 2 plus 4, iron maximum oxidation state is plus 6. Point to be noted, plus 6. Okay, fine. That is what I am making the formula. The maximum oxidation state from iron onwards, that is number of electrons present in ns orbital plus number of unpaired electrons, in n-1d orbital. Only unpaired electrons you have to count. 2 plus 4, that is 6. In case of cobalt 3d7, 7 means again another electron pairs. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. So these pair of electrons are not involved in bonding. So now cobalt maximum oxidation state is 2 plus 3 5, maximum 5. Getting? Okay. So let me list it like that. Other oxidation states now. Look at. Okay, anyhow for manganese, up to manganese the number of oxidation state, otherwise the maximum oxidation state is equal to the group number. Okay, look at it, maximum plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Even manganese also plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 and plus 7. The maximum oxidation state. Okay, next from iron onwards, plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6. Why plus 6 means? Because 3d6 means one of the electron is paired. So paired electron don't consider. That is what? Plus 6. Cobalt plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and plus 5. What about the nickel? 3d8 4s2. Any of these two electrons are involved in bonding, it becomes plus 2, minimum oxidation state. Maximum oxidation state is equal to the sum of number of s electron plus number of unpaired electrons in d orbital. So how many unpaired electrons are there in d orbital of nickel? Look at here, 3d8 means consider your 5 fingers. 5 fingers as a orbital. dx, dy, dxy, dy, okay? dxy, dyz, dzx, like that orbitals are there na? 5 suborbitals in case of d orbital. Okay, so like that d5 orbitals you consider. Okay, dxy, dyz, dxz, dx square, dz square. Fine. So in that 5 orbitals, d8 means 1 2 3 4 5 electrons, 6 7 8 means 3 electrons are paired. 3 orbitals are paired. In 3 orbitals, electrons are paired. So how many unpaired electrons are there? Only 2 unpaired electrons are there. So hence I can consider here only 2 unpaired. That is 2 plus 2 means plus 4. 2 plus 2 plus 4. Hope you are not getting. Let me clarify here. Look at here. Think that d orbital 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. D8 means, let me fill the electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7, 8. 6 I have to say shown. Sorry. Okay. See 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Correct? See how many unpaired electrons are there in nickel? Only 2 unpaired electrons are there. So S orbital contain 2 electrons. 2 plus 2, 4. That's what I written here. Plus 4. Okay. Similarly with respect to copper. Copper means all the d electrons are D10. All d electrons are paired. It contains only one unpaired electron. Hence copper forms plus 1. Even though copper also forms plus 2. What is the reason copper forms plus 2? Let me explain that one. With respect to I explain higher oxidation state. Okay. Similarly, zinc. Zinc contains 4s2 3d10. Only s orbital, the electron present in the s orbital is not in the bonding. That's what forms plus 2. Okay, only plus 2. So now you look at. Now you look at here. With respect to the higher oxidation state, okay, from scandium onwards it goes on increases plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7. Okay, from LHS to RHS up to the middle of the series, higher oxidation state goes on increases. The higher oxidation state goes on increases. Further, it goes on decreases. It goes on decreases. It goes on decreases. Okay, fine. So that's what we can make out the points from here onwards. That is, in case of 3D series elements, at the two extreme ends, means group 3 and group 12. At the two extreme ends, they exhibit lower oxidation state. Whereas in the middle of the series, they exhibit higher oxidation state. Fine. Okay, that is the point number 2 you consider. Next, point number 3. Point number 1 is all the D block elements exhibits variable oxidation state. Except group 3 and group 12. Okay. Point number 2. At the middle of the series, D block elements exhibits higher oxidation state, but at two extreme ends, they exhibit lower oxidation state. What is the reason? Because due to unavailability or not available of d electrons or less available of d electrons. There is a less number of electrons are in d orbital. Another reason may be due to the more number of d electrons. Here d electrons are more. Because they are paired, that's why they are not involved in the bonding. So that is the reason why at the two extreme ends they exhibit lower oxidation state, but at the middle they exhibit higher oxidation state because due to the availability of number of unpaired electrons in d orbital. Point number 2. Point number 3. When compared with non-transition elements, see these are the transition elements, correct? When you compare with the non-transition elements, example S block or P block, when you compare, these elements oxidation state differs by 1 unit. These elements oxidation state varies with respect to 1 unit. Look at here, manganese plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. It differs with respect to only 1 unit. Only 1 unit difference is there. Whereas with respect to non-transition element, for example, if I take P block elements, in case of P block or in case of S block, if I take, they differ by 2 units. For example, if I take group 13 elements, group 13 of the P block elements, that is boron, aluminium, gallium, indium and thallium. Okay, group number is 13, means they exhibit plus 3 oxidation state. Plus 3 and plus 1. plus 3 and plus 1. Okay, the outer shell configuration of group 13 elements is, that is S2P1. S2P1. So S2 means S orbital contain 2 electrons, P orbital contain only 1 electron. P contain only 1 electron. For example, if I take boron, boron atomic number is 5. When you read the electronic configuration of boron, if you write that is 2s2 2p1, 1s2 2s2 2p1. Correct? Boron atomic number 5 means outer shell contain s orbital 2, p contains only 1 electron. Only 1 electron. Similarly, with respect to aluminum, gallium and indium. So here, anyhow, P1 it is involved in the bonding, it forms plus 1 oxidation state. Okay. Here, if 2 plus 1, all the 3 electrons are involved in the bonding, it forms plus 3. It forms plus 3. But in case of heavy elements like indium and thallium, these 2 electrons are not involved in bonding. The electrons present in the s orbital, they are not involved in the bonding because due to inert pair effect. Due to inert pair effect, these pair of atoms are not involved in the bonding. So that is what they form only plus 1. Means the heavier elements forms only plus 1 oxidation state, whereas the starting elements, okay, lighter elements, they form plus 3 and plus 1 both. So that time you can see they differ by what? How many units? They differ by 2 units. Plus 1 plus 3. Difference is 2. But here difference is only 1 unit. Only 1 unit. Okay, point to be noted. Similarly, another point. When you compare D block elements with other block elements, for example, compare with P block elements. The heavier members in case of P block elements are stabilized by lower oxidation state. The heavier members in case of P block elements is stabilized by lower oxidation state. Means the lower oxidation state is more stable. The lower oxidation is more stable. Top to the bottom, stability of lower oxidation state plus 1 increases. Whereas stability of higher oxidation state plus 3 is the higher oxidation state for boron family elements. It goes on decreases. Correct? Look at here. The stability of what? Higher oxidation state. It goes on decreases. Stability of lower oxidation state goes on increases. My point is, with respect to P block elements, when we compare, the heavier elements, means the elements which are at the bottom, these elements are heavier elements because atomic mass goes on increases. Correct? So the heavier elements exhibits stability of lower oxidation state but not higher oxidation state. But that is reverse in case of D block elements. In case of D block element, that is reverse. What is that, sir? In case of D block elements, stability of a higher oxidation state increases. Stability of a higher oxidation state increases down the group. Otherwise, heavier elements of D block elements are stabilized by higher oxidation state. But in case of P block, heavier elements are stabilized by lower oxidation state. For example, see, boron, aluminum, gallium, indium and thallium. With respect to indium and thallium, if I consider, they are stable with respect to plus 1 oxidation state. They are stable with respect to plus 1 oxidation state. Plus 1 but not plus 3. Means lower oxidation state is stable. But in case of D block elements, for example, if I take chromium, that is a group 6 element, if I take chromium, molybdenum, tungsten and C-borium is there. Any of C-borium is the radioactive element, leave it at one. So chromium, molybdenum and tungsten, if I compare, what is the higher oxidation state in case of group 6? That is plus 6 only. See, plus 6 state of chromium, plus 6 state of molybdenum, plus 6 state of tungsten, if I consider, molybdenum present in plus 6 state are stable. Molybdenum and tungsten, these are the heavy elements. Their plus 6 state is stable. whereas in chromium it is unstable. That clearly indicates the heavier elements in case of d block elements are stabilized by higher oxidation state. Higher oxidation state, which is reverse of what? Other p block elements. Look at how means. Look at here. For example, Cr2O7 minus 2, that is dichromate ion, where the oxidation number of chromium is plus 6. Plus 6. Okay, fine. For example, let me take potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7. K is plus, 2 ones are plus 2. Plus 2 minus 2 cancels. So here the oxidation number of what? Potassium dichromate, chromium is plus 6. It is unstable. It is unstable. Why, sir? Because in acidic medium, it undergo decomposition and act as a oxidizing agent. Act as a oxidizing agent to form chromic sulfate. To form chromic sulfate means here the chromium oxidation number is plus 3. Means here potassium dichromate undergo lysis because it is unstable in plus 6 state. That's why in acidic medium to form chromic sulfate. Means it acts as an oxidizing agent by itself undergoing reduction. Whereas with respect to molybdenum and tungsten, if I take with respect to plus 6 oxidation state, that is molybdenum MoO3. Oxygen is minus 2, 3 2s it becomes minus 6, molybdenum is plus 6. Similarly, let me take tungsten WO3. These two oxides with respect to plus 6 state, they are stable. That's what they will not act as a oxidizing agent. They not act as a oxidizing agent in acidic medium. Hope you are getting. Here potassium dichromate, where chromium is in plus 6 state, it is unstable. Hence in acidic medium it acts as an oxidizing agent. Whereas molybdenum and tungsten oxide in acidic medium, they not act as an oxidizing agent because they are stable. They are stable with plus 6 oxidation state. Okay, students. Similarly, another point to be noted. These transition elements forms compounds in zero oxidation state. Some transition elements even they form the compounds in zero oxidation state, especially with respect to some complexes. That is, for example, in nickel tetracarbonyl, where the oxidation state of nickel is 0. Oxidation state of nickel is 0. Similarly, in case of iron pentacarbonyl, oxidation state of iron is also 0. Okay. Fine. So this is what regarding the oxidation states of d block elements. Oxidation states of d block elements. Hope it is clear, dear students. Okay. See, another point to be noted. Of course, as a theoretically I shown you how the oxidation state of each group of d block elements is obtained here. Okay. But practically when you go through, chromium very rarely exhibits plus 1 oxidation state. Okay. Means it begins from what? Plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7. Manganese also plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 6. Sorry, this is plus 7. Okay. Iron plus 2, plus 3 and plus 4, plus 5, plus 6. Cobalt plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 5. Nickel plus 3 and plus 4. Copper is plus 2. Look at now. Among them, the most common oxidation state exhibited by these elements is all the elements except scandium. All the elements except scandium, they exhibit plus 2 oxidation state. All the exhibit plus 2 oxidation. It is common. It is common with respect to all the 3D series element except scandium. In scandium, plus 2 oxidation state is unknown. Virtually it is unknown. The compounds of plus 2 oxidation state of scandium is virtually unknown. Okay, fine. Next, with respect to titanium, NaO plus 2, plus 3, plus 4 available. vanadium plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 and plus 5. Okay. Chromium also any of it is available. All these are available. Okay. Again, among them, the common oxidation exhibited by the particular element. If I focus, in case of scandium, even plus 3 state also rare in case of scandium. But in case of titanium, the common oxidation state or the stable common oxidation state of titanium is, even though it exhibits plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, the stable common oxidation state of titanium is plus 4. Its compounds are available in plus 4 state. With respect to vanadium, plus 5. Vanadium. Chromium, plus 6. Plus 6 and plus 3. Two stable oxidation states of chromium. Manganese plus 2 and plus 7. Okay. Iron plus 2 and plus 3. Okay. Cobalt, that is plus 3. Cobalt plus 3. Nickel plus 2. Even it forms plus 3 plus 4, but they are not stable, plus 2. Copper plus 2 only. Zinc plus 2. Okay, fine. So whatever I have encircled with yellow color chalk piece, they are the stable form of what? Oxidation state with respect to these elements. Even though they exhibit variable oxidation state, the stable form of oxidation state with respect to that element is, okay, you can go through. Okay, that's it regarding the oxidation state of D block elements. Okay, now may I ask one question now? What is the maximum oxidation state exhibited by nickel? Can anybody name what is the maximum oxidation state of nickel? Very simple. What is the nickel belongs to which group, miss? Of course, 10th group. Forget it. What is the atomic number of nickel? That is 28. Correct? 28 means outer configuration of your rating. Argon 18 followed by 4s2 3d8. 18, 19, 20 plus 8, 28. Correct? Now look at here. Remember the formula. The minimum oxidation state of all the D block elements is the number of electrons involved in the bonding from s orbital. Number of electrons involved in the bonding from s orbital. How many are there? 2 plus 2. Maximum oxidation state is sum of the oxidation number of electrons present in the sum of the number of electrons present in s orbital and d orbital. S orbital of ultimate shell, d orbital of penultimate shell. Especially in d orbital, sum of the number of unpaired electrons in d orbital and s orbital in s electrons. Look at here. 3d8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So how many unpaired electrons are there? Only 2 unpaired electrons are there in d orbital. So s electron, 2 electrons. So 2 plus 2, 4. So the maximum oxidation state possessed by nickel is plus 4. The minimum oxidation state is plus 2. Hope you are getting this one. Okay. Next concept. Let us focus with respect to stability of higher oxidation states. Let me include here one term, that is stability. Stability of higher oxidation states of D block elements, or especially 3D series element. Stability of higher oxidation states of 3D series elements. Okay, students, we can understand the stability of higher oxidation state. Stability of higher oxidation state of D block elements are transition elements with respect to metal halides, transition metal halides and transition metal oxides. With respect to transition metal halides and metal oxide, transition metal oxides. That is, think, let me write MX2, example I am writing MO. where M is the transition metal, you think. Okay, with respect to halide, X minus M is plus 2, so 2 ones are, it becomes minus 2, plus 2 minus 2 cancels. Metal halide, this is metal oxide, oxygen is minus 2, M is plus 2. Okay, similarly we can go with respect to higher oxidation state, stability of a higher oxidation state. With respect to these elements, let us understand stability, how the higher oxidation state of these elements are stabilized. How to understand means with respect to metal halides and metal oxides. With respect to metal halides and metal oxides, let us look at here. Let me focus with respect to metal halides. Metal halides, I am taking X minus halide, X minus, otherwise X2, only X2 I am saying halogen. When halogen reacts with metal, it forms respect to metal halide. Okay, like that. Look at now. With respect to metal halides, okay, what is the higher oxidation state of 3D series elements? Plus 7, plus 6, plus 5, plus 4, plus 3, plus 2, plus 1. Look at now. Scandium, with respect to halides, scandium does not have any stable halides. Okay, that's what I am not taking scandium. I am not considering any scandium halides. From titanium, higher oxidation state of titanium halide. That is, what is the oxidation state? Higher oxidation state of titanium. 2 plus 2, 4 na. Group number, like that you can remember. That is plus 4. Means here. TiX4. Okay. Stability of higher oxidation with respect to TiX4. Then it also forms what? TiX3, TiX2. Correct? Titanium forms plus 2, plus 3 and plus 4. That's what I am writing here. Fine. Okay. Next, with respect to vanadium. Highest oxidation is 3 plus 2, 5. Means it forms vanadium pentafluoride. Either not VX5. VX5 means all the halides are not stable. Only with respect to fluoride it is stable. The higher oxidation state of vanadium with respect to fluoride it is stable. That's why I am writing vanadium pentafluoride. Followed by VX4 dash, VX3 and VX2. Okay, of course, look at here. TiX2 triple dash. Let me explain what is this triple dash means, what is this single dash means. Let me explain later. Next, with respect to chromium, highest oxidation state is plus 6. Means with respect to not all the halides, it is stable only with respect to hexafluoride, and plus 5 state with respect to pentafluoride. Others with respect to tetrahalide. All X means all the halogens will come: fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. But with respect to plus 6 oxidation state, here chromium is plus 6. With respect to plus 6, only with fluorine it is stable. Only with the fluoride it is stable. Not chlorine, hexachloride. It is not stable. Okay. With respect to higher oxidation state only. With respect to fluoride it is stable, but not with respect to other halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine. They are not stable. But when I write X4 means all the halogens are available. Means chromium tetrafluoride, chromium tetrachloride, tetrabromide, tetraiodide. Here X indicates fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. All the 4. Cr X3, Cr X2. With respect to manganese, highest oxidation state is plus 7. See, even though manganese exhibits higher oxidation state is plus 7, because 5 unpaired electrons from d orbital, 2 paired electrons from s orbital are involved in the bonding. Correct? Like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All the 5 electrons are involved in the bonding. As also these 2 electrons from S are also involved in the bonding. So that time 2 plus 5 is 7. Even though it is having higher oxygen, it is plus 7. But with respect to what? Halides. With respect to halides, the stable higher oxidation state of manganese is that is MF4. Only tetrafluoride is stable. Only tetrafluoride means here manganese is stable only with respect to fluorine. That too, what is the highest oxidation state? It is plus 4. Plus 4. Only plus 4 state is stable. So what about plus 5, plus 6, plus 7? They are not stable with respect to any halides. Okay, MnFO is stable. Similarly, MnX3, MnX2. From iron, in case of iron, even iron also exhibits up to plus 6. But stability with respect to halides is FeX3 dash. FeX3 dash. Okay. Then FeX2. With respect to cobalt, COX3 and COX2. Especially not X here, point to be noted. Please observe properly, it is only COF3. Okay. Next, nickel. Ni. X2 is stable. Even nickel forms up to plus 4, only NiX2 is stable. Copper also same. CuX2 dash, CuX triple dash. Zinc, Zn, is it visible or not? Zn X2, Zn X2. Okay, dear friends, look at here. So this is what stability of higher oxidation state with respect to halides. With respect to halides. Look at here. All the transition elements halides with respect to plus 2 oxidation states are stable. With respect to plus 2 oxidation state, they are stable. All plus 2 state, they are stable. All plus 2 state. Okay, they are stable. With respect to higher oxidation state, that is what our concept. Stability of higher oxidation state we are discussing. With respect to halides, if we discuss, it is not equal to its group number. It is not equal to its group number. Look at here. Starting, scandium is unstable with respect to its higher oxidation state. But with respect to titanium onwards, from titanium, the stability of higher oxidation state with respect to halides, TiX4 plus 4 is stable with respect to halide. In case of vanadium, only VFI is stable, not other halides, because other halides they undergo hydrolysis. Even if VCl5 if I take, it undergo hydrolysis readily. That's why it is unstable. Because we are only focusing with respect to VF5. CrF6. Stability of higher oxidation state you can look at here. Plus 4 is stable with respect to titanium. Plus 5 according to vanadium. Plus 6 with respect to chromium. According to group number it is increasing. But from chromium onwards, no halides, no stable halides are there more than plus 3 oxidation state. Behind the manganese, no stable halides of transition metals are there with more than plus 3 oxidation state. Okay, look at the stability. Plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, again plus 4, plus 3, plus 2, plus 2, plus 2. It goes on decreases. Getting fine. Let me clarify what is this triple dash. TiX2 triple dash. Can you notice here? See, TiX2 triple dash indicates. Let me clarify that one. See, X means fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Correct? X means fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. If I write X dash means it is only from fluorine to bromine. Fluorine to bromine. No iodine. No iodine. X dash means, look at here. X dash is there now. Means CuF2, CuF2, CuCl2, CuBr2. CuBr2. Here also same with respect to iron. FeX3. means Fe F3, FeCl3, FeBr3. No FeI3. If dash indicates single dash. If I write double dash, X double dash means you remove iodine, you remove bromine, you remove. Only two halogens, fluorine, chlorine, fluorine, chlorine. Okay, fine. If I write triple dash, remove fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine will be there. What is X triple dash? X triple dash indicates chlorine, bromine, iodine. No fluorine. So look at here. TiX2 triple dash. CuX triple dash is there. Do remember these two compounds? CuX triple dash, TiX2 triple dash. It indicates titanium dichloride, titanium dichloride, titanium dibromide, titanium diiodide is available. But TiF2 not exist. Similarly, here also same. CuX3 means Cu2Cl2 exist. Sorry, CuCl exist, CuBr exist, Cui exist, but not CuF. CuF does not exist. Of course, it exists in the form of Cu2Cl2, Cu2 because here copper plus one oxidation state. Copper plus one oxidation state. Anyhow, getting? Similarly, here also iron FeX3 dash. X dash indicates no iodine, only fluoride, bromide, and fluoride, chloride, and bromide. FeX3. Okay, students, this is what regarding the stability with respect to stability of higher oxidation state with respect to halides. So it is not over. Let me explain further. Look at. See, with respect to what? Titanium plus 4 oxidation state, all the halides are available. Here X indicates fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Means titanium tetrafluoride, titanium tetrachloride, titanium tetrabromide, titanium tetride, all are stable with respect to titanium and they exist. With respect to vanadium, only VFI exists. What is the reason? Why fluorine shows stability only with respect to higher oxidation state? Why not with the lower oxidation state? In lower oxidation state, CuX triple dash indicates no fluorine, only chlorine, bromine, and iodine. So that is the question. Why fluorine is stable with respect to higher oxidation state, but fluorine is unstable with respect to lower oxidation state? Fluorine in the form of fluoride, it is stable with respect to higher oxidation state, but less stable with respect to lower oxidation state. What is the reason? Because in higher oxidation state, fluorine is stabilized is because due to high lattice enthalpy. It depends on the high lattice energy of that compound's crystal. High lattice energy. Okay, fine. Otherwise, high bond enthalpy. Because due to high bond enthalpy, that's what fluorine is stabilized with higher oxidation state. Example, you can take cobalt trifluoride also. Here also fluorine is stabilized because due to high lattice enthalpy of COF3, cobalt trifluoride. Fine. Similarly, vanadium only pentafluoride is stable. What about the other halides, sir? For example, if I take other halides, for example, if I take VX5, what is X? Here X is chlorine to iodine, means chlorine, bromine, and iodine. Point to be noted. So it reacts with water and undergo hydrolysis to form respective oxo acid. Of halide plus HX. 3 plus 2, 5. Okay, they form respective oxo acid of halides. Okay, that is what with respect to plus 5 oxidation state, vanadium pentahalides are unstable. Only vanadium pentafluoride is stable. Because due to high lattice enthalpy of plus 5 oxidation state with respect to fluorine. Okay, students. Similarly, with respect to copper, if you focus, see CuX2 dash That indicates copper, with respect to copper, means CuI2 does not exist. Cupric iodide does not exist. Whereas CuF2, Cl2, Br2 it exists. Why CuI2 does not exist? Reason, because in CuI2 copper is in +2 oxidation state. It oxidizes iodide. It oxidizes iodide into iodine. It oxidizes iodide into iodine. It oxidizes iodide into iodine. Point to be noted. That is 2CuI2. 2 2s are 4 iodine. So here iodide is minus oxidation. Here it is 0. It oxidizes iodide into iodine. That's what CuI2 it does not exist. Does not exist. This S indicate is a solid. Okay, friends. And next concept, copper in +1 state. Another point to be noted with respect to oxidation state here. Copper +1 state. Cu in +1 state, especially with respect to aqueous. In aqueous state, copper in +1, otherwise cuprous, Cu plus means cuprous, Cu plus means cupric. So here cuprous in aqueous state or cuprous halides in aqueous state, they are unstable. They undergo disproportionation reaction. Copper in +1 state in aqueous medium, it is unstable. They undergo disproportionation reaction to form copper in 0 oxidation state and copper +2 oxidation state. Okay, that is 2Cu. Okay, here copper itself undergoing oxidation, copper itself undergoing reduction. Copper undergoing reduction. Decrease in oxidation number is called reduction. Increase in oxidation number is called oxidation. Time is 52 minutes. Anyhow, let me finish up. Okay, hope you are understanding this one. Copper present in the +1 oxidation state in aqueous medium, it is unstable. It undergo disproportionation reaction to form 0 and +2 oxidation state. 0 and +2 oxidation state. Okay, what is disproportionation reaction? Where the particular element in a reactant itself undergoes both oxidation and reduction is called disproportionation reaction. Students, another point to be noted, just now I mentioned copper instead of +1 state, it is stable with respect to +2 state. Why? Copper is not stable with respect to +1, but is stable with respect to +2 state. Stability of copper we talk. +2 state is more stable than Cu+. What is the reason? Because due to high hydration enthalpy. Due to high hydration enthalpy of Cu+2 ion. Okay, because due to high hydration enthalpy of Cu+2 ion, which compensates the second ionization energy of Cu+. Okay, as we know, copper's first ionization energy is less because it loses 4s on the electron easily and attains half-field stability. Even though it is having half-field stability, Cu+ is 4d10 its configuration. Correct? Even though it is having half-field stability, but even it is unstable. Why means? Cu+2 is stable. Why means? Because Cu+2 its size is small. Smaller the size, higher is the hydration enthalpy. Because due to higher hydration enthalpy, that energy which is liberated. Okay, what is hydration enthalpy? The amount of energy liberated to convert gaseous cation into aqueous cation. That energy which is liberated is compensated with second ionization enthalpy. So that is what Cu+2 is more stable than Cu+. Okay, this is what regarding the stability of what higher oxidation states with respect to halides I explained. With respect to halides. Still I need to explain with respect to oxides. It is already 54 minutes. So anyhow, let me finish up with respect to oxides also. See, actually for that I need to write again once again. I have to mention all the oxides. So it may take time. So Let me stop here and continue stability of a higher oxidation state of D block elements or especially 3D series elements with respect to oxides in my next class. Thank you. Students, one thing, just now someone dropped the message there. He is asking, sir, what is that you told dxy, dyz, dzx with respect to orbitals? Students, I think you forgotten. In PUC first year, you might be come across d orbitals. Correct? D orbital. In that suborbitals, if you focus, total 5 are there na? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How you named? dxy, dyz. Correct? dxz, dx square, y square, dz square. This is what I mentioned. Okay, fine. That's it. I told actually D8 electrons are there in nickel. In that I mentioned consider these orbitals as a finger. 5 fingers you consider. Okay, 5 fingers. So in that nickel D8. D8 means what you do? Just like this. Think that filling of electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, fine. 6, 7, 8. Similarly, I told you to focus on the fingers. That's what I mentioned. dxy, dyz, dzx, dx square, y square, dz square I told. Okay, fine. So now, filling of electrons you see. 1 electron means you raise 1 finger. 2 electrons, 3 electrons, 4, 5. Next, pairing of electrons you show like this. 6, 7, 8. Now, how many fingers are left? Only 2 fingers. Then you say only 2 unpaired are there. Only 2 unpaired. So it will be easy. Because not only with respect to this one, even in upcoming class I have to explain magnetic. Here also, depending upon the presence of unpaired electrons, we will decide the magnetic property. Whether it is paramagnetic or diamagnetic like that. There also it requires. For calculation also you require to count number of unpaired electrons. That time you can't keep on writing these 5 boxes and adding that one. Better keep in your finger only. So that is dxy, dyz like this. dxy, dyz, dxz, x square, y square, dz square. Then filling of atom is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Still 2 left. 2 unpaired electrons. Like that, better keep in the finger I am saying. Okay, fine. That's it. Thank you.